Hey, welcome to tonight's team call. So grateful to have stolen Becky and not let her leave our house yet, so she can join us for the team call. She's not allowed to go either, Pat. I've been trying to steal her keys, keep her in our house. Yes. Anyway, we are here tonight to talk about the exciting side of compliance. Woo woo! So over yeah, Zach's ready, showing us how we can really express ourselves and share with confidence about these incredible products we have. So it's all a positive, upbeat call. First of all, we're just going to ask Pat to just share some of his business events he's been doing just this last week or a bit. So thanks, Pat. I just spontaneously asked him. So thanks, Pat.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, hi, good evening, everybody. So last week we were very, very lucky. Lindsay came all the way over from the UK to Ireland. She spent a couple of nights here with us, but we had two events organized. I'm calling them events because they weren't classes. They were we like to call them mini events. One was in Tralee. So to kind of give you an idea, we're based in the west of Ireland. One was in Tralee, which would be the southwest of Ireland, which was about a 3-hour drive from our house. So
wow.
Our evening basically we go through the science, we do a mini introduction, and then we kind of have people in our team sharing their stories. But as they're sharing their stories, they're also sharing a little bit about how the different products that they use as part of their story actually work. So it's not just a case of, say, for example, balance, and I just felt very calm after using the balance. It was just, we do a mixture of stories and education at the event, so we can really show the science and how they work behind them. And then on Thursday, we repeat the process up in the very northwest of Mayo in a place called Gisala. And yeah, we had a wonderful time. It was fantastic having Lindsay over because it was fantastic to get that mentorship of how to run events and the follow-up and the interaction with people. We've learned so much by having her over. So it was fantastic to have her over. Yeah, we've done some other activities as well. It wasn't all the entire business. We got in a bit of horse riding and a bit of country life, and we had her out in the stables. She never had to be asked about, but it was absolutely fantastic to have her over. So yeah, we love it. They weren't massive events. We like to keep them intimate, 20 to 30 people. So people in the room then feel very safe and nearly in a smaller group. It's a kind of an Irish thing. People will open up a little bit better in a smaller room of people. So, yeah.
Lovely. And were they mainly new people, Pat, or were they existing customers, business people? Who were the events for?
So the one in Kerry, I'll just speak about the one in Kerry. The one in Kerry, we had a mixture of, we had existing customers who brought along their friends who they'd been telling a lot about the products. So it was like, say, 10% of existing, 90% new customers. And then the one in Mayo it was about 20% existing, 20% social influencers, and then the rest were new customers.
Okay, amazing. That's great. I love it. Thanks, Pat. So, the rest of you can, so it's quite motivational to kind of set a target and invite your upline to help if they're available, or crossline, it doesn't have to be upline, and you have something to kind of head for and organize and feel that collaboration. It's more fun and also inspiring as well, because when there's more of you there, it creates an energy, doesn't it? I imagine,
Certainly does.
That, and that's great. Thanks so much, Pat. Well done. That sounds really good, what you created there.
Wonderful.
Really good. So Becky, over to you.
Okay. So I'm going to share about this blend today. Can you see? This is, hang on, let's turn it round. There we go. It might be the wrong way around actually for you, but it's HD Clear. I don't know how many people actually use this and realize how powerful it is, but I'm going to share how I've used it in the last month. So our little dog, Chester, developed months and months ago now. He developed this thing on his body, which even the vet didn't know really what it was and just ended up saying it's an allergy. So we checked, he had rashes all over his body, itching, bleeding, losing hair. And very lethargic. He wasn't himself, and it went on and on and on. And it wasn't allergies. We'd changed his food, everything. We even had a hood thing, neck thing round his neck, so he couldn't scratch because he was scratching and bleeding all the time. And so I did quite a lot of research, and I thought, I've got to sort this. I have to sort this because I felt like he was dying. Because the things were going black as well, where the skin was going red, it was going black afterwards. Anyway, I suddenly realized that in this blend we have the black cumin seed, along with lots of other oils like melaleuca and geranium and what else, litsi, cinnamon, and eucalyptus. But the main one I was interested in was the black cumin seed, because when I researched about the black cumin, it came up as really powerful antifungal. And I thought, because it going black, I thought, I think this is a fungal thing. Anyway, so every day I went on, and all the top here where his where it was really red and horrible, I was doing this, and under the back of his neck. And anyway, every day, twice a day. And I'm telling you, it's all gone. All that rashes, everything, the bleeding, and the hoods come off, and he's completely healed. And to me, this shows how powerful this is for antifungals. So if anybody has fungal infections at all, and especially those ones, I think, let's try this out. But I think, you know where they get in between, in the toes, between where the nail is and the thumb. If you get a pipette and put it into the roller bottle, take the roller bottle lid off and put it in, and then drop it onto the fungal infections, and do it at least morning and night, and go for it for at least 2 to 3 weeks. I think you're going to see amazing results. So I would really love it if you could post about this and let me know what happens. Because there's also a thought, and this is probably going to cause you like, what? But also, I'm just going to put a question out there, and we can't post this. I know this, Zach. But what about internal? What about internal? Because all those oils, yeah. So just think about it. But that's what I wanted to share with you today about maybe the underuse of HD Clear, which is amazing for all skin conditions, but think also about fungal things. You can have questions in that we can answer at the end if you like in the chat.
Thanks so much, Becky. I loved hearing about that when Beck shared with us, because Megan had been telling me how she was so worried about Chester, because it really was, like you say, really bad. And he's an old dog, so like you say,
he's 10 years old. Yes,
quite. Yeah, that was actually real, wasn't it? Yeah, so amazing. Thank you. It's not one we really talk about a lot.
No,
I haven't. I don't really talk about it in my classes, so it's really cool to.
We do, and sometimes people do say, do you have black cumin seed? And the thing about it is, we actually do. And you might think, oh, but it's not a whole bottle, but there's still enough of the potency. It's the top oil in there, so there's enough of it to do all the things that black cumin seed do. So if you're not sure, go and look up all the things that it does, and you'll know that it's in that HD Clear along with other oils, all working synergistically together.
Yeah, love that. Thank you, Bex. Okay, so I'm just going to, before I hand it over to Zach, okay, go away. Just quickly share something. I was going to let you guys see it. Let's see if I can do it better than that, because that's not brilliant. That'll be better. Get this away. Okay, there we go. Move that out of the way. It's showing up there. Okay, so you may know this, but mindset is everything, isn't it? So we've had some amazing business from Pat shared us, and this incredible oils from Becky, and the other thing, so we've got action with Pat, we've got the product with Becky. Mindset, I know I go on about this quite a lot, is so critical, and I wanted to read this poem from Theodore Roosevelt that I absolutely love, and I think it's so inspiring. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
I love that.
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that, because, you know, in doTERRA, in life, we can feel like we're failing. We can feel like we're not getting anywhere. We can feel down, disheartened by all our efforts. And sometimes it's easy to kind of drop back, isn't it? And drop into that comfort zone and become a bit more of a spectator, you know, and that's when perhaps you can find yourself getting into judgment or self-doubt and all those things. Whereas this poem just talks about all we need to do is be in the arena, you know. The most important thing is that we're showing up, we're in our life, we're living our life every day, and we're doing our best. And then we cannot fail. There is no possible failure. You know, if we do keep going, I do believe we'll get success. And sometimes success doesn't look the way that we sometimes envision right at the beginning. And as long as we're on that arena, we're always going to get success, because we're going to be improving ourselves. You know, it's going to be helping us despite the results, right? But rather do that, rather be in the arena than let our fear and other things, limiting thoughts, stop us from even trying and getting into that arena. That's, I think, the worst thing we can do in life, is to just be a spectator and let life pass us by. We're never, ever going to lose. We're never going to regret getting in that arena and giving it our all, right? And that's what I invite each of you to do in your life, in your business and everything, just getting in that arena, getting it wrong again and again, and then getting it right. As long as you're living, then you're doing it right, in my opinion. And I love that poem for that. Anything you want to add,
I
Becky?
love it. I love it. In fact, Natalie, our upline, she actually calls her group Daring Greatly because she loves it so much. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to now invite Zach. Woo! We all want to talk about compliance.
I'm sure you do.
So Zach is so kindly. He's in charge of compliance. He's Mr. Compliant. What a title. He's actually lovely. He's not boring at all. You might imagine a compliant person to be boring, but if you've had the chance to meet Zach, he's not. He's fun, he's lovely. And so I was excited to invite you on. And actually, Zach, what inspired me to do this was I'm starting to get into Instagram, and I did a post, guys, and I got flagged up. I was like, this is amazing. I've actually been noticed. This is cool. I was quite like complimented the fact that I'd had a post that was now, you know, having photos taken, and it was uncompliant though, unfortunately. So I had to take it down. I had to take it down.
You need to tell them what you said.
Okay. Yeah.
Or you wrote.
So I just did a picture of me just for my run with a deep blue rub saying, just apply my anti-inflammatory blend before my run. I'd forgotten, because I just haven't been active on social media, that anti-anything is not allowed. So I thought I need a reminder, because I really want to share these incredible products with everyone in a passionate, real way, right? And social media is a really good place to go. And so I thought, let's invite Zach on so he can tell us what we can say, how we can share our stories powerfully, so we can really help to impact more people. So Zach's going to do a little presentation for us, and then we have time for questions. So if you have any questions, write them down or keep them in your head and put them in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. And Zach, are you okay? I think you said you're okay to answer questions, didn't you?
Of course. Yeah.
Amazing.
Can I ask that you make me a co-host so I can share my screen?
Yes, definitely.
Brilliant.
Okay, so there we go.
All right. So I will wait for that to pop up. Hopefully y'all can see my screen.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, for taking time out of your busy evenings. I know that it's gorgeous weather, gorgeous lights too, from everything I'm seeing on social media. You all had a wonderful weekend. I miss being over there, but I'm glad that we're still able to connect virtually. By way just of introduction, my name's Zach. I have been with doTERRA. I just had my 6-year anniversary last week on the 7th. So I love being here. I'm a doTERRA lifer. I have truly fallen in love with this company. Um, I started in member services, just building up the ranks on the phones, learning about the products, answering queries from really upset Americans. I learned just thrown in the fire, threatened lawyers if you miss something in their LRP, and then graduated to compliance and started learning how compliance works in the US before I made my transition to EMEA compliance, which is your region. And I actually relocated in 2020, right before the pandemic, literally 2 weeks before. And I moved with my family to the UK. And we lived in Milton Keynes in Bedford. And we were there for the last 3.5 years, and then we moved back to the States. So we're a doTERRA family. My wife works in marketing, or she did work, and that little point in the bottom, we have 3 children and a fourth coming next month. We got all boys and another boy joining us. So we got a lot of product to be using and to keep us strong, and a lot of LLV, which I will be talking about here shortly. But that's just me. I love my job. I've loved to make it my own. I recognize fully that compliance is the most vulgar C word in the English dictionary. Everybody hates it. So I want to make it fun and make it and give it the attention that it needs. I know that sales are important. Sharing benefits is important, but it's also for the future of doTERRA and being a forever company, as our executives say. It's important to kind of be aware of some guidelines here. So just kind of some objectives of today. Just wanted to say, why do we care about claims? Why am I reaching out to Bex? Why do I care that she's posting this? Why do I care if I've reached out to you in the past or a member of my team has reached out to you? What are claims? Just some policy manual context and clarification, how we can post compliantly, and then a short Q&A afterward. So basically just some background about claims. The bigger a company gets, the more attention we get. We have seen this as we're the fastest growing essential oil company in the world. We are well established in Europe. Kudos to you guys. You are the role model market for the world. We're growing at over 20% right now in Europe. We had a town hall this morning with Kirk, and for those of you who know Kirk, you know that he has some experience with Europe. So some would say he's biased, others would just say he's taken a sip of the Europe Kool-Aid and knows how special it is. We are, as EMEA, we are the role model for the other markets, including the United States. Whatever you're doing is working, and we love that. And as you continue to grow, and as the other markets literally follow what EMEA is doing, we're going to have some more leniency in what we can say, and we'll have more resources and more things to work with. One of the biggest perks about being back is that my desk is located right next to our attorney who works with EMEA specifically. So I'm able to touch base with him. His name's Shane. We're able to talk shop, what's coming. He was actually just over there in Munich and Milton Keynes last week, working on some exciting developments. So the more you build, the more you're able to share. The bigger that we get, the more resources we have, and the more in depth that we can get, and get past the surfacey stuff that you all have been working so brilliantly with over the last 6-7 years. Now we're able to say more. Again, we'll get to that shortly. So yep, just understanding why compliance is important, because it helps us in the future, and it helps pave the way for the future. As I said, we are a forever company. What we do now impacts the future generations. It affects our children doing the business, and it affects our future enrollments, our future customers, our future doTERRA family. So it's important to stay compliant now so that they can have even more room to run once they're fully on board. Examples of product claims. Bex gave some with anti-inflammatory, but just things like asthma. If we're using words that we're going to use in a medicinal setting, those are probably medical claims. Now, it's okay to talk about them, but it's important that we don't say, well, and then I use this product for that. I mean, we can talk about experiencing things in our lives because every one of us will go through it. It's inevitable. But when we talk about doTERRA being a cure, it's just where we need to be careful. And so that goes from words or images that imply medicinal use. We also have COVID-19 claims that we've already dealt with in the past. I know in the beginning of 2020, we reached out to things, so we can't talk. This would be an example. I use On Guard for coronavirus, and I use that to stop this. So those are things that we can't do for reference because I want to get to the good stuff. But go to section 11. It's all about product claims, gives you some context of why we can't say that. And that is because of the way that we're registered. It's not because we want to do this. Believe me, if we could say it, we would. And first, before even our wellness advocates, we want to share it because our product is capable of wonderful things. But because we're registered as a beauty supplement and as a nutritional beauty cosmetic and nutritional supplements, it's important that we stay within those guidelines for now, because we need to show the governments and the regulatory agencies that we're willing to play ball, and we are willing to play ball. We are a fast-growing company, but we're also an ethical company. One of our core values is be pure, and we want to be pure not only in our essential oils being the most pure in the world, but we also want to be a pure business. We want to be the most pure business in the world and want to operate with transparency. And so that is why we hold ourselves to that standard and why we comply, because we want it to reflect it's who our company is. So as I said, just no, I don't want to dive into all of that. I will actually send you guys this presentation. You can refer to it and you can get lost in the sauce and read all the text, but all of this is in the policy manual. Okay, so you guys can read that. Now, what can we say? Because that's what we want to focus on, right? The happy. So with our essential oils, we can talk about its emotional benefits. We love using them for so many things, but things that we can talk about are the emotional benefits. It makes me happy. It helps me when I'm feeling anxious. It helps me when I'm feeling discouraged or sad. We want to talk about emotional benefits. And if you haven't had an experience, try one. Sniff something now, put it in your diffuser, immerse yourself, and truly have those experiences, because when you share it, it's going to be more authentic, and your clients and your future customers and your family are going to see, wow, this really does mean something. When you have an experience with our products, as I'm sure everyone in this call has, it's contagious, it's real. We can talk about how it's a benefit towards a healthy lifestyle. You'll learn these doTERRA verbs as I've put there. Supports, can help alleviate and promote. These are doTERRA verbs, but promotes healthy lifestyle, promotes wellness, promotes a positive atmosphere, positive uplifting aroma, things like that. These are specific with our oils. I know that our supplements are made of the oils, but our oils are not registered for medicinal use or to cure or to treat anything. They are cosmetics, nutritional supplements, and food flavoring. So it's important that when we are online and when we are teaching, that we stick to those parameters as much as we can, because that is how we are currently registered. And again, it's not because doTERRA want to do that, it's because this is what these are our operating limits right now. So the good stuff. Good friend Larry David, it's about time. It's about time. So we can say botanical claims with our supplements, because those are supplements. A supplement is not something that you smell. A supplement is not something that you can rub on your skin. A supplement is something you take internally, and it has benefits internally. So this is before I go in, I just want to say thank you, because the reason why we are able to use these botanical claims is because you have worked so hard over the last couple of years to be compliant and to play ball and to be pure and be ethical with our regulatory agencies around Europe and the UK. We're able to use these things because of all of the hard work and sacrifice that you have done, and they are very exciting for compliance, because we before, as especially those you early members will know, that you pretty much couldn't say anything that it smells good, but I don't think anyone's going to want to pay £100 for something that smells good. So they have their benefits, and we want to share them, and we're eager to share them. So an example, On Guard beadlets. This is an example, but please refer to the ZenJest beadlets, your peppermint beadlets. We have new thing. If you look at our product information pages, you'll see those asterisks. These health claims are still under decision of the EU and EFSA. We can talk about that it's helpful for respiratory complaints, relief of colds and coughs, because you're taking it internally. This is brilliant things that you can say, and it's compliant. It can relieve your throat. It's soothing to your throat. You can also say that with On Guard when you take it internally, but specifically with the beadlets, you can use colds and coughs. Those are really important words that resonate with people. You don't need to play guess what's in my head or paint a picture with the scenario. It's changing weather and I don't feel as good as I should. Now you can just say cold. If you have a cold, use the On Guard beadlet. It's brilliant. And this is stuff that's on our pips. Another example is Terrazyme. I just use Terrazyme just barely. Every Sunday, I took the English tradition of Sunday roast, and I love that tradition. We have Sunday roast, and I'm always bloated after because I'm a big boy. I love to have an additional serving or two, even though I work for a company that's about wellness. But that's why we have products to help. So it supports your digestion. It supports normal liver function. It contributes to better fat digestion. All of these are in the benefits, and you can use them on your social media. You can use them in your courses, and you might have already been using them, and that's okay. You're just ahead of the curve. But these are things that you can say. And again, I'm trying to be enthusiastic about it because we couldn't say this for years, and now we can, and it's brilliant. We don't need to worry anymore if you're going to get an email from Zach or an email from the team. It's all there, and you can share it freely on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, in your classes. Another example, I don't know how many of you have or use LLV. I would assume a lot, or you've had an interaction with it. I can't live without it. Microplex VMZ is pretty much they say frankincense is the king of oils. I would say Microplex VMZ is the king of supplements. Whatever you're going through, whatever challenge you're going through, is probably something, or Microplex VMZ will probably help your situation. It literally does everything because of all the components that are in it. And we're so grateful for Rob and Rob Young, who came up with this beautiful supplement that we can say, it's not listed on this image, but this is like a 3-page pip. But just to kind of reference, it's Microplex VMZ. You can talk about normal blood clotting. You can talk about what benefits it brings to your blood and to your system, normal function of your heart, blood glucose levels, and bone nutrition, and so many things. You can say a lot now with LLV, and that's super, super exciting. Because we all experience these things. I'm growing old and getting up with age. When I came to Europe, I had a full head of hair. Now I have the same barber as Daniel, and we're going through things. But Microplex VMC does help with hair. So I don't know, Daniel, maybe you and I need to double our dose. But we're going. So we love that product, and we love the claims that we're able to use now. It's super, super exciting. Something I want to emphasize is just to be confident in what you share. I love when I see a claim, because it means someone's sharing an experience. If you're sharing a claim, or if you're sharing an experience, whatever, but even if it does have a claim, that just you're sharing a product. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural consequence of having a wonderful experience with a doTERRA product. And we're so happy to see that, because it means people are using it. That's one of our goals here at corporate, is we want to double down on essential oil usage and our supplement usage. We want everybody to be having these wonderful experiences with our products. And if we see a claim, that's okay. We'll work with you. We won't necessarily make you delete the post unless it's a video. Then it's a little bit tricky, but our main goal is to help make the post compliant. And when possible, we want to edit it and help it stay. And also, if we do stumble across on it, that means that someone else has, because our systems and our software goes off of web traffic. So that means that someone's seeing it, that your marketing is working, it's reaching people. So rest assured, even though you might only get 1 or 2 likes on that, it's gotten a healthy dose of clicks and views. So be confident about that, because it's super exciting. some resources. Again, I'll share this with all of you, but we have our flyers, our claim sharing guide. It has some examples more in depth of the do's and the don'ts. It also talks, we also have our product information pages, which are really, really nifty. I will pull that up here. Our product information pages, if you haven't seen them yet, they look like this, if it will go back. Here we go. So you can look at our single oils, our proprietary blends. Beforehand, we had doTERRA Everyday, which was kind of an experience, but now we're a professional company. we look a lot more tidy now. So we have all these categories. It looks super good. You can go click on it, whatever you want to look at. You click on DDR Prime, and it will go through. It'll go through all the pips, and then you can download them. You can put them into your presentations. All of this is for you and for your teams. So feel free to always refer to those. And then we have our botanical claims update, which is what I mainly shared, because we have the most freedom in what we can share with our supplements. So that is here. It'll bring you to this page. You can go through all of this, more information on Alpha CRS, and go through all of these new updated things. Improves mobility, supports joint health, antioxidants, helps your muscles during sport activity, and all of these wonderful things. You can go through all of these pages on this link here. Go through supplements, Deep Blue, On Guard beadlets, peppermint beadlets, etc., as well as our Zengest stuff. Digest Tab is one of my favorite products. I know if we have any Dutch people on the call, it tastes like black licorice and the fennel, but at first it made me gag, but now I literally need it. And I know it's not compliant, but it helps when I have a burning feeling in my chest. If any of us have had that, it's beautiful for that feeling of something that I can't say, but paint it like that. It provides soothing feelings to me, and it helps calm my body down. So really exciting things with this botanical update. If you haven't seen it already, I'll link it in the chat here in a moment, and then I'll share this presentation with everyone. So that is my presentation. I wanted to keep it short and sweet because I also wanted to open up with questions, because I have a meeting at 8 p.m. UK time. So I'll turn the time over to any of you who have questions.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Zach. That's really exciting to see the good things we can say.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, we can say a lot more when an oil says supplement on them, because some of them are registered as supplements as well, aren't they? The oils. I was just getting
Yes.
trying to remember which ones they were. So if they say supplement on them, we can say a lot more about them.
That is correct, and always refer to the product information pages, which I'm going to link here in the chat. But look at those before. But yes, if our supplements, especially anything, this is my supplement thing, but especially if it's a bottle meant for internal consumption, you have a lot more freedom in what you say. If it's because an oil, you can do so many. You can diffuse it, you can apply it topically, or you can take it internally. But this is only internal, and it has internal benefits.
So for the Deep Blue, for example, you have the varieties, and one is a supplement. So you could have, if I was to do a video or a video, let's say, and I was talking about the Deep Blue supplements, and I had my Deep Blue rub in the background and my Deep Blue oil. Could I focus on the Deep Blue supplements, of all the benefits from the Deep Blue supplements, and have the Deep Blue rub in the background and the Deep Blue oil?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Focus on the Deep Blue polyphenol, and talk about how it helps your cardiovascular system. It supports your heart health, and it provides aid to your muscles. You can talk about all of that. But again, all this is on the pips as well for the Deep Blue complex.
Can you say it helps inflammation?
Can you say it helps inflammation? Nathan's asking.
Inflammation is not on there, unfortunately. So it would be, it helps when I'm sore, and when my body's reacting to difficult activity.
Okay, so you can't say pain.
And
then, so pain's
not yet. You can in other markets, but we're getting there. We're almost there. We're nearly there.
Okay, hang on
Be very good. Okay.
Yeah. So now the doTERRA word of discomfort is probably the best one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would like to ask, are we not allowed to say, or are we allowed to say feelings of anxiousness?
You can say anxious, you said, didn't
Yeah,
you?
you can say anxious
Okay.
feelings.
What
Mhm.
about depression?
Yeah, depression.
That was the one.
So
you-
depression is something you can be diagnosed with. So that would be, you know, feelings of
so-
discouragement or
So the point-
sadness.
My point
Okay.
is, it can't be if it's a diagnosis of something.
Yes.
Okay. Can you say these oils can help the body to heal itself?
Yes,
And can you
Yeah.
say specific things?
You
Or
can.
can you just
I
say,
would, I would, so you can say, you know, it helps the body heal itself, but something that would probably be the most perfect thing would say it just helps the body in its proper functions to have a full recovery, a natural recovery,
okay,
and
can
things
you
like that.
relate it to
Yeah.
asthma? Is that when you can't? You can't say, will help the body to heal itself or
Well,
support the body
if
to
it
heal
has-
itself.
And clear and help clearing airways for helpful, you know, you got to talk, you got to kind of get in the weeds, lost in the sauce, as I always say, and, you know,
Okay.
talk about
You-
some symptoms.
Fine, and not specific. You can't ever
Yeah,
mention.
I can't say
you-
specific that one. Mhm.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
so if you're going to talk, you're not going to talk about a virus, but you want people to know that you are talking about a virus. How can we say that?
A challenge. You have to be vague.
Challenge.
Really?
An environmental challenge.
But
Environmental.
with the On Guard supplement though, you can, and I'm sure it's with the soft gels as well. Then you can say coughs,
You can say coughs and colds,
colds. You can't say flu, but you
No.
can say coughs and colds. Okay,
but you can talk about that nasty thing going around or whatever. My kids brought something, and we're all suffering.
Yeah.
So
you could say this will help with coughs and colds
And nasty things.
and nastier things.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at you.
Oh,
Yeah.
getting it, mate. I'm gonna be sending videos.
Environmental threats that we come across at
Yes.
in this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
What about cancer? Can you tell us what we can say?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, what can we say? Yeah.
yeah. That one. I mean, you can talk about, like, I've thanks, Nate. Yeah. I mean, obviously you can talk, like, because that is a very real thing that people go through. I mean, you can talk about the effects that cancer has emotionally on the family and on yourself if you're going through that. But you can't say I'm taking frankincense or I'm taking my LLV to combat this.
No.
I'm using it to aid my emotions. Usually with that, we stick on the emotional end and helping my body function properly. So you can talk about cancer, but you can't say I use LLV for my cancer. You just say I use LLV for proper body, you know, whatever you want to go into, but you can't say it's for cancer.
So could you say for cellular repair and to stop uncontrollable
Things.
multiplication of cells
Multiplication. Yeah.
out of control?
Yeah.
So you can talk
Yeah,
about
you can, but you can't just say it's for cancer. That's a
No,
red
okay.
flag, hot word.
Yes,
We've
yes.
got Ali.
You kind of got to dance with it. Mhm.
Okay. Ali and Kev ask a question before Becky and I take up the whole.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yeah. Oh, Jenny, and then Ali and Kev. Yes, go Jenny.
Yeah. So Zach, I cleared non-Hodgkin's lymphoma with the oils and all of doTERRA supplements in 2016, 17. And I didn't want to talk about it. I wasn't ready to really talk about it or anything, but when they said that I'd got spontaneous remission, can I say things like, they said that I'd got spontaneous remission and my lifestyle was using essential oils without mentioning doTERRA and supplements and nutrition.
Yeah,
Because
so if
they're not saying I'm not referencing to a specific cancer. I'm just referencing to the fact that I was able to have spontaneous remission. Because it's like I have lots of people coming to me with cancers and they want to know what I've done, and my kids keep saying write a book, and I'm trying to find a way that's compliant without actually saying something in reference to the cells. What I normally, because I do teach on the oils, and what I say is that viruses replicate within the cell and that essential oils will pass the cell wall, and there's some communication that takes place and they don't know how it happens, but it actually is restorative to the cell, so it stops that replication of viruses. Is that compliant?
Yeah, so sorry, you were cutting out a little bit. I'm not sure if you're cutting out for anyone else, but from what I could
Okay.
gather from what you were saying was like you can refer to essential oils in a broad term and vague. It's not brand specific or supplement specific.
Yes.
You can do that and say cancer. You can do that as long as you're not, as long as there is no ties with doTERRA, you are free to use those. But if you already have a doTERRA platform and you share and then you go, off brand for one post, that would kind of be an implied claim because you look at your profile, you're like, well, she promotes doTERRA clearly. So if you say you run just a wellness and health page or a business page and it's or a lifestyle page, no brands, no nothing, you're just talking about life and about wellness and health, you have all jurisdiction because there's no ties to doTERRA. But if you are talking about doTERRA, then it would probably be best to stay away from those and kind of do the dance of talk about some symptoms of how the supplements can help and help promote wellness and aid and facilitate cell regeneration and things like that, rather than using cancer or killing viruses or stopping viruses from replenishing in the cells. Does that make sense?
Can you, thanks for that. Can you refer to the PubMed journals, the scientific evidences?
So we can't anymore. If you're talking about doTERRA on that same page or post, we can't link to PubMed articles, unfortunately. The regulations have deemed that as a claim, like it's doTERRA making the claim. Now that's up. You can agree or disagree with it, but that's what the regulatories have said. So doTERRA as a company will comply, and we can't share those links.
So I teach at a college. I do a 4-hour lecture on doTERRA essential oils, and I'm talking about all sorts of things there around the science and what the oils do. And that presentation gets recorded and the students have a copy of that. And before I present, I always say that they're not allowed to share anything that I say or record anything that I say. Is that okay privately?
So I would say be confident privately, but compliance and especially being recorded, I won't encourage anyone to be non-compliant, but be confident when it's private. And
Okay.
I did see a comment pop up like, tell people to do their own research too. There's wonderful things on PubMed. Go look at it. It's there. Go do a simple Google search of the benefits of tea tree oil. Let Google make the claim for you.
Yeah.
But obviously you're teaching in a seminar, right? It's not like all the answers are on the internet. Any questions, right? Like you're going to give some context and some information. But if you're, especially like if you're a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a live, like here, these are things, the compliant things for tea tree. There's even more online. With a quick Google search, you'll find it all. Something like that.
10 minutes.
Can we also refer to aromaticscience.com as well, even though that's a doTERRA science?
Yeah, you can just go here and go to PubMed, go to Google, go to www.oilscurewhatever.com, whatever. Just don't share the specific details, whatever, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Becky, I contacted them one day in Aromatic Science, and they said they're happy for you to use their content.
Okay, great. A question in the chat, Zach, can you mention it may be beneficial to your mental health? Yes. And Ali and Kev, unmute yourselves, ask a question.
Yeah, there was a few things actually, Bex, if that's all right. So one is, 100% the personal testimony thing I found really powerful in classes to share that. And also, just saying up there, as I said, to refer people to do their own research. I do that all the time. So when I talk about frankincense, I say in the class, I'm super compliant, because I want you to do your own research here. I cannot make any claims, but I would really like you to go and research the interaction. So I love that. And I also think, Nathan and Bax, you have a really powerful graphic, or wherever that was created, where you've got a compliant language versus a claims language. We've certainly adapted that and got that within our system. That I think is really powerful, because this can feel really overwhelming, what you can say and what you can't say, but there's a really simple graphic that just does it all for you. So if anybody hasn't got that, or anything, I'll happily put it in Silver Blossom, or I'm sure Daniel probably created it in the first place anyway. We've got it there somewhere. But that's really helped me with my posts. And then I would say, even if you have the really scary situation that the compliance team contact you, it's not scary. That's super lovely. All that happens is, because I've had the same thing as press, is they'll go, Ali, I've noticed this about your post. How can we help you? So they'll kind of flag the post. You'll go, squad, and they'll go, all you need to do is adjust this. There is nothing frightening about it. So don't be worried about putting content out there and trying it out, because they are just there to help you. So if something happens, you adapt your post, they'll tell you how to do it, super safe. So please don't feel afraid by that, because I've had a few posts, Becca's done really well. I've had a few. I've been flagged in my time over the years, and it's not frightening. They just guide you, and they just make sure that you're keeping the whole of the company and the whole of the offering safe. So I just wanted to share those things.
Very helpful.
Thanks, Ali. Thanks, and then Daniel.
Yeah, just Zach, I think we spoke about this before, but I think it's a good one to ask. What about before and after photos? So say someone cuts their hand and then they put helichrysum on. They don't necessarily say anything, but they're like day 1 and then like 7 days. Like, can you do anything like that?
So those are challenging. What we've been advised by legal is that is a claim, even though I'm sharing a results. I think one of the biggest ones was a few years ago, we had a US distributor, and their son or their daughter did a science project with On Guard and mold. If you've seen the bread picture with the On Guard, and then it kills the mold. So that got flagged during an audit. So those are unfortunately would be considered implied claims, and we can't share those.
Cool,
But
yeah.
you can talk about I've used this with other things, and or with aid, like if you're using weight loss, or for example, you can be like, I've changed my diet, I've changed my exercise routines, and I've been using this wonderful supplement, and it's helped me get here. That's totally fine. But when it's like killing a mold, or when it's healing a wound, that's considered a claim.
Yeah.
Weight loss is a bit more safe.
Just seeing the comments, they're asking for, and we've spoken about this before when we've had our time together, about what you can say and what you can't say. I know you guys are working on a new thing, and we're also working on something to make it really straightforward. So if you wanted to talk about air, you can't say, oh, it solves my asthma issue or whatever, but you can say this. So you can't say it, but here are some options of what you can say.
Yes, I can't share my screen right now, but something we started to do in the US. So this was the last year. It was our convention product. So this is the Serenity stuff. It says don't say and do say, and the don't says are making the claims for you. Just a little hint. So yeah, but you can talk about creating a calm aroma instead of saying depression. Take Serenity stick if you have depression. If you have a business page, be like, these are the things you can't say, and then say this, and then the can't says, it does the talking for you. Obviously, you don't want to do that on every post. You'd look a little bit odd and strange, but yes, we are working on new material that we can have shared with you.
My last question is just, why is this such a big deal? So what if I say frankincense helps with cancer? Like, surely doTERRA aren't getting in that much trouble, right? Or are they? And are there fines involved?
We get in big trouble. The fines for one single post can be up to they start at $38,000.
Oh.
So they're steep. That's why we are.
So even if
strict.
it's up there for like a seconds act, if someone takes it down immediately and they realize they've made a mistake, could you still potentially get fined?
Yeah, that depends. So that my department, we take screenshots of everything. That's why we'll ask for a link, or we ask for screenshots of posts when people report things in, and because we need the documentation to provide in case if there is an audit that, hey, our team took action, it's no longer there, or they'll say, no, this is what we have. So yeah, we don't do it because we want to be negative. I mean, we're a sense like I forget who says it. I think Seth Reasonmay talks about how wonderful it is, like that you as wellness advocates, you get 50% of the money. and then corporate has to divvy up the other side, the other 50. And so we wouldn't waste it on us. Just be like, oh, I just want to make Beck's life miserable today. She had a uplifting experience with her run in Deep Blue. I just want to put her down. No, we do it because we don't want to get fined, and we want to be compliant, but we want to keep doTERRA safe, because if we are making those claims, then if we want to introduce Serenity Sleep Stick, or we want to introduce PB Restore, they're like, well, we're not going to do business with you because you don't operate the way you say you're going to operate. So we want to push new products in, and it's just business. We have to have a good track run and a good history of being compliant, playing by the rules, making sure we check all their boxes so we can get you all more products.
Yeah.
It's just the business side of it.
Exactly. Are you saying that we can say stuff like, I can't say this about the product, I can say this?
In an educational format. Don't be cheeky with it, but yeah.
Okay, get what he says.
But we have it on our stuff here. It says, don't say antibiotics or Crohn's disease or irritable bowel syndrome, but say that it helps you absorb your food, the PB Restore.
You can say that in the same post. Brilliant, all right.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, you can do personal testimonials. So that was said. So you can do personal
As long as there's no claims. If you're
Okay.
doing an online testimonial, please don't make claims. If you're doing a private testimonial, please make sure there's no claims, but be confident.
Okay. And so
I'll say that.
it can be cosmetic. So I had before and after pictures for my my feet, for example, that had like, big cuts on them, and the correct X really healed them. So that's more of a cosmetic thing. So can you do, because we're allowed to do cosmetic claims, no?
Yeah, we are, but we can't like cure and like heal a wound. It helps like with skin imperfections and blemish and occasional blemishes. But if it's you're sealing a wound, then that can be into the claims. I'll be down there in a minute.
Okay, cool. And then
So but if she had a before and after picture, and then the wording said, this really helped me with this, and this, is that all right?
It's really helped me with my skin imperfections. I would use that wording. And if it's bad, if it's bad, I'll flag it, and we'll have a nice chat.
Yeah.
And just last.
It's better to do it than to not.
Okay, is it? It's better to do it than to not. Okay, and then
Yeah, I'll reach out if it's not good.
okay.
Or if you have questions, just email me and we'll talk.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you, if people had like, if I set up my social media posts for the next 7 days and I wasn't sure, would you want people to send them to you, or would that just be your nightmare? Like, is there somewhere we can send them to just get it quickly checked?
As much as I love each and every one of you, just post it and we'll chat. We'll chat.
All right. Okay. This has been so cool. You need to go, don't you? But any last burning question? I think. Just check.
Maybe keep
I
them
usually
on,
say,
that's
I think that's
fine.
it, isn't it? Cool. Yeah, thanks, Zach. That's inspiring.
thank
It's
you.
exciting. And if you get flagged up, you're on the right path.
Yes,
You're
That's right. You're being a little influencer.
Just not every day. You don't want to be put,
Yeah.
Best to be compliant. We've got some great advice there. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
It's amazing. We'll let you-
Absolutely. Okay, well, if y'all have any other questions, I'll put my email here in the chat. I do have to run to another meeting downstairs. I will send, right when I get back to my desk, I'll email Nathan and Bex my PowerPoint, share it with everyone here or on your business pages. And yeah,
Cool.
pleasure being with y'all this evening.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank
We'll just
you.
stay on for a few more minutes, guys, because I'm just going to answer Saskia's. But thank you, Zach. We really appreciate you. You're brilliant.
Thanks, y'all.
You're
Take care.
friendly and lovely. Makes me
Miss you
feel-
all. Bye-bye.
Bye, Zach. So Saskia, we just covered that. So welcome, Saskia. So Zach said that, I said, does he want us to send things to him? He said, actually, he would much prefer you just do your best to be compliant and post it, and then he will contact you. Compliance will contact you if it's not compliant. So he doesn't want us to be sending him stuff. That was quite cool. Yeah, go on, Nisha. Hey, Nisha.
Yeah. So how will they see it?
Oh, they see it.
I've hardly got any followers, and they flipping saw mine. That's why I was like, wow, my
Yeah.
goodness.
They have software.
They have software that
Yeah.
finds it. So if someone else has seen it in the social media world, then they'll find it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite cool. So the main things: no anything, no claims about healing, curing, no before and after pictures. That's all quite simple.
You can do before and after pictures, you just can't
But
say.
what you say,
Yes.
yes.
So before and after pictures, just be careful with, as long as you're saying imperfections and this hasn't cured this, or, you know.
So I can assume that I haven't done anything non-compliant because I
Yeah.
haven't heard from them. Okay.
You're doing what you're doing. Exactly.
Well, no, if she's not heard from compliance, she's not trying hard enough.
Hello, can I
harder.
ask something?
Yeah.
Can I ask something?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Go for
Right.
it.
Can I show you a picture of something? This is I've already put this on my Instagram, right?
Okay.
How can I show you a how can I do this? Right, hang on, let me see. Here we go. Right.
Okay.
There's my dad's toenails today.
Okay.
Now this is how they work. Are you ready?
Yes.
Now, wait till you
Oh.
see this. Give me a second to
There we
find the. Just give me a wee second, and I will find it because I've been treating him for 6 months with tea tree and oregano. Okay.
Hey, yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, I can't find a damn thing. Hang on.
You did
I'm getting frustrated. Right,
you
two
did
sec.
share.
I had it today.
You could say don't share privately, but be confident.
I know, but I have. It is on my
Yeah.
Instagram. Let me go on Instagram.
Okay.
Better there. I'll be
Deborah,
quicker finding it there.
quite
Here it is.
excited just while Deborah finds
Right,
that.
there it is. There it
Okay,
is.
have a look, Deborah.
Look at that.
Oh, fungal.
Right.
Amazing. For 6 months. What, and in between, did you use
Only once a week because I go and see him on a Sunday.
Oh, that's
Right. And I
wonderful.
stay over and come back on the Monday. Right.
on the
And I-
nail,
I did-
Deborah?
And
On
that,
the
that
nail.
photo, the first photo I showed you, I said, Dad, go and let me take a photo because I'm going to show the ladies. And he's like, am I famous? I said, yes, you're famous, Dad. He's 82 and he's so delighted with his feet. I've even done his heels. They were cracked. He's got like baby feet. He's and he's getting an operation in June for a new knee. And the doctor says to him, Mr. Youngson, have you got any cracked feet or anything? He says, no. He says, my daughter treats me with doTERRA oils. I'm like, oh no. Are you still there? Sorry.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, Becky's just reading it in the chat.
Right, sorry. And
yeah.
so he showed the doctor his feet and everything. They couldn't believe an 82-year-old man has got such amazing feet.
That's amazing. But you put tea tree and oregano in
Tea
between
tree.
his expression, his nail.
No, what I was doing with the fractionated coconut oil,
Yeah.
rubbing and then just massaging his toes with it,
Wow.
and then a little bit of raw, but not too much.
Yeah.
I put a little bit raw in today as well, and then
And
but
on his
with the
nails.
fractionated coconut oil, I rubbed all his feet, and for 1 day a week
So, from my
for the past 6
understanding,
months.
and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, from your understanding, you can put the before and after photos and say, these
I
all
did.
helped with my dad's, yeah, so
It's done. I've done it. It's
done
been
it.
on here for ages.
nails,
actually-
imperfections on his nails and his skin.
Aye,
Yeah.
and I actually put the oils on in that as well. Sorry, I'm
Oh, but you
speaking like Doric. I even put the oregano and the tea tree beside his feet
Yeah.
as a picture,
Okay.
and it's been allowed. It's
Fine.
been on there for 6 months.
Okay, so I think the thing is, we obviously don't want to just, we want to basically share what we can share, right? And we
Mhm, mhm.
share a culture, as in
Yeah.
we want to be able to share these oils really openly. And from what Zach said,
Mhm.
because we've been so compliant, it means we've been given more freedom. So it is our responsibility as advocates to protect our jobs and protect the amazing healing
Mhm.
power of the oils, to not try and, push the boundaries. That's not the aim.
Yeah.
It's really learning how we can confidently share these, right? And that was quite exciting tonight. I'm
Mhm.
excited that
I
we can
think
It's
share
amazing.
more
Yeah.
than I
Mhm.
thought we could share. So I think we can easily stay within those boundaries. I don't think
And
we
if-
need to go beyond those boundaries.
No,
And if
no.
we stick to being good, we're going to get more and more.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Like soon we can say pain. So we can't say pain yet.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
he intimated that soon we'll be able to say pain. And
Yeah,
that would be.
hopefully, yes.
And the supplements, that's cool. So you can say more things with supplements, remember?
Mhm.
That was cool. As well.
I just want to share it with everybody how brilliant they are.
Yeah.
And it's so, it's a shame that we, you know, because I'm terrified to really post things. I am, because I'm thinking, you know, but this has been helpful tonight.
Yeah, this is good. You don't need to be terrified. Be confident, and then
Yeah.
you get contacted if you don't do it right.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that's
Yes.
good as well.
Has it been helpful to you all?
Yeah. Anyone got any more questions? Been helpful.
I mean, this one's good. He says, there, look, had so many flags.
When they contacted me, they helped so much. Few posts deleted, others edited. Yeah. So like Ali was saying, don't be scared about them contacting you, and you'll learn, you know, so do your best to be compliant, and don't worry if they do contact you. Don't think, oh my goodness, I'm not going to do that again. You know, they'll work with you and you'll learn with them. I think that's the important thing. Yeah. Any more questions before we end the call? Is that good?
Oregano, tea tree, yeah.
And then Ali's going to share that helpful handout that either Daniel
I
or
was just going to
Bex-
say that, Bex. Do
can't
you
remember.
have the image? Because I thought it came from you, but if you don't, I will find it and just share it in Silver Blossom then, yeah?
Find it.
It
'cause
was
all
just
my-
compliant versus non-compliant language
I love
over, and it might be a little bit dated because obviously it's a
Yeah.
little bit while ago, but it will give you the general gist of how easy it is to just adapt your language over the exact same thing you're wanting to say, but do
Yeah.
it compliantly.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember
so
that. I
happy
don't
to
know
do
where
that.
it is. So that would be amazing, Ali.
Okay, I will find that and share that with you.
Reorganizing my resources. That's great. Thank you.
Same. Yeah, no problem.
Cool. All right. Well, who's going to convention next week? Oh man, it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see
Very.
you all there. Can't believe it's so soon.
No.
Can I just ask, will there be anything online from convention?
I don't think so.
No.
We were just saying, I don't
Oh, it's
American does, but
No,
there isn't. Okay, Nathan's saying there isn't.
But
Yes, there isn't.
I will try to record
We'll
stuff
record some things.
and put
Oh,
them on
thank you.
here. Yeah, put them on here.
Yeah, between us, we will
Yeah.
get some footage for you of the key.
Yeah, because when I first came on, I could buy a ticket to go online and watch a lot of it, not the whole thing, but a lot of it. And I loved doing that.